Same with Viego. Just going to have a good time. Just going to be able to maybe get a reset and then start popping off. Kayle, herself, obviously with the ability to do a ton of AoE damage in the fight, he's very survival and also immortal. Is really strong in isolation, but with what she offers as a kind of utility top laner in a lot of ways in team fights, before that happens, we have to keep that in mind. She and Gangplank both have their ultimates that are pretty long cooldown, but have so much power. As we've seen basically every blue side game, you have early prio, he will get the first Drake around 3-6.
Here's an aggressive trade as Def does have his flash available. He heals, avoids the stun, as now Ghost in a bit of trouble. Beryl looking for it. Zenith Blade goes through. He's looking for the first blood, but he doesn't quite get there. Now Pyosik chasing as he manages to grab the kill onto the Draven, but that is not before the kill does come through. It wasn't Draven that picked it up, and Pyosik will be traded for, and it's BDD that collects that kill as well. Nongshim, great position after that one.
Zeka not going to be able to really force anything back here with the wave state in mid. BDD can just shove this one.
Extra investment from DRX is there. Whirling Death available from Ghost, so he can at least get a bit of extra damage there as Pyosik picks up the Herald. The eye collected by Kingen as well, but the fight has broken out. Beryl dives right into the middle of everyone as Effort puts up the door, but it's not going to quite be enough. Draven cashes out what little stacks he has remaining as BDD tries to find the ult, but he doesn't get it. Pyosik avoids it with the ulti from the Kayle, and now DRX are trying to win the fight. It's a flash forward from Deft with the Feather Storm, but they're unable to get any more kills, but still.
Zeko's looking for a flank. He doesn't have any opportunities.
Yeah, Solar Flare comes on through. Ghost in a whole host of trouble. Empress Divide once again not necessarily hitting the mark, as there is so much AoE damage going down, but still, it's a double kill for Ghost. Pyosik getting the resets, but into what zone? Not exactly where he wants to be. Death manages to take a Drake, but DRX lose 3 for the cost of 2.
Yeah, this is still pretty significant for DRX, though. They split the fight, and they make a sacrifice to guarantee Drake. If they don't actually split like that, there's a chance they win the fight, because, Pyosik has that extra damage. He gets resets easier if Deft is there, but then you end up potentially losing Deft because the collapse is there for Nongshim. You don't get the Drake. Dread looking deep for something.
Yeah, if they get dove here, it's a bit of a problem, but they're not going for... okay. Deft just walks too close to the Gangplank and gets obliterated.
Yeah. That was a lot of damage coming out very quickly, and that's what this composition can do. Now, we're not even in the late game part of it just yet, but watch the split that happens here for DRX. Def decides he's holding Drake. Featherstorm is massive, and the Emperor's Divide, like you said, doesn't hit anyone. Pyosik Zonias it. Then Def decides he's going to split off. The Cannon Barrage cuts them in half, and I think there's a bit of a disconnect because DRX could have arguably pushed up top to kind of peel for Deft and get out of there. But they decide, let's guarantee Drake. A bit of a disconnect there, I think, but Pyosik did enough to buy enough.
Trying to get on.
Look at that damage.
Yeah, it's going down so extraordinarily quickly, but it shouldn't be a surprise. They have a Kayle who's got so many items. They take the Baron Def. Now Featherstorming to try and keep himself safe. Effort trying to avoid those feathers, but the Emperor's Divide this time is going to work. Zeka goes golden, but I don't think it's going to be enough to keep him alive as he tries to backflip out, but it doesn't work. Still, it's 2 kills for a Baron. Trying to set up the feathers here as well on DRX's side. That is a Cannon Barrage to come on through as Dread taking a lot of damage. Beryl tries to dive into the back line. The Emperor's Divide onto only Zeka, but he's still trying to fight this one out. The perfect execution is there, as now we're trying to take down this Elder, and it's Pyosik that secures it, and now it's Kingen with an Elder buff, as well as Kayle. He just gets ripped apart, but now Deft is here to try and take them down. BDD, can he be the carry for this team, is the question. Heartbreaker is going to miss, but BDD has no hope against the big old dragon, and now it's just a back from Dread. Pyosik just trying to fight this one out, but yeah, I don't think the back there from Dread is really what's going to win it. I think this is game over, and I think DRX have beaten the odds.
They certainly have. They have no right to win this game with this composition in a 40-minute Elder fight. Nongshim never on the same page together in these critical objective fights, and the Elder fight was no exception. As we'll watch the fireworks
here.
This is
an epic
Pyosik.
battle. As, okay, Dread is he's burning. Pyosik's still going to chase him, though.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm glad that we get to watch this, as we do have 15 seconds on Canna. Ghost is up pretty soon. This game's probably not over, but Dread is definitely going to die.
Well, they're pushing bottom. They still have that Elder buff, mind you, even though, these respawns are coming through. Kingen has teleport and can join this fight immediately, as you can see here on your screen. So,
yeah, and with
good luck, Nongshim.
Yeah, with the fact that now Dread is also dead, it's staggered backs theoretically, right? Now we've got all 5 minutes.
Look at him delete the barrels. Here. No barrels allowed.
Oh my god, Kingen just does so much damage. It's pretty absurd. But
okay,
it looks like
away.
DRX are just going to back off. They've grabbed themselves 2 inhibitors. They want to go get a bit of a reset, grab a bit more money, and then win the game, I assume.
BDD...
Baron is up,
yeah, they just
so now we'll just go back and grab that as well.
2 inhibs. We could just push top and make it 3 and wait for the next Elder to spawn.
Hannah, where's your Smeb impression? Let's do it. Let's do it. 2 HP. Oh, it went down to 36. That's scary. Still, no vision, no idea.
No barrage, no idea, no ability to time it, and let's watch this fight again because I think DRX played this so confidently. Barrel's engaged, looks suicidal, it's very Barrel-esque, right? But he goes in onto 4 to set up for Zeka. Zeka gets knocked up by BDD, who defensively uses his ultimate instead of using it on the objective fight because Barrel and Zeka are so much on the same page. Nongshim then struggle to decide what to do next. The Barrel setup isn't good for Kana. And then as the Elder is smoked, there's no way you can win the ensuing fight because you're getting Elder executed. And Nongshim just were not on the same page. They didn't have vision set. They weren't pre-set up at all for this. They were dealing with mid push from super minions from that trade of inhibitors. Mid inhibitor greater than top inhibitor when we're talking about Elder oftentimes, especially because Kingen dealt with the wave before the Elder fight.
Yeah, I think it was the setup. Like normally top inhibitor being down is good.
Yeah, it's usually the best thing
to be there.
But in this case, because he preemptively pushed the wave, it didn't actually end up being valuable for Nongshim. They're just getting out macroed here.
Yeah. Look, I don't know what's going on. There are a lot of really weird things about this game, but I think that honestly, DRX have just executed better throughout this game. And sometimes weird item builds don't matter. Sometimes compositions even don't matter if you just play better. Cannon Barrage comes through and is going to try and clear out these minions. Nongshim well and truly on the back foot. You can see every time a bit of this AoE sneaks through, Nongshim just takes so much damage. And look at Def, now with 6 items complete. Doesn't really matter what build you've got as long as it gives you some AD and some relevant stats.
It's just been, I mean, really phenomenal play from DRX. I see why people have been so scared of this team in scrims now. It feels like a scrim. Like, let's see if we can beat this team with the late game comp, with our inferior comp in the late game. Yeah. Feels like a scrim.
We're watching. Another Glacial Fissure going wide. Hasn't been the greatest game here for Effort, and he's just going to get taken down. Def with Featherstorm available, and now also has the ult from Kale. These wallets are getting pretty heavy. However, they're now at the wrong side of the turret. Def taking a lot of damage here. Is now Canna trying to get on forward. You can see now they're just trying to get around this Nexus. Where are we? Where are we going? Well, they're going to be fine. I mean, look, they own this part of the map, right? There are no inhibitors available, so I guess it works out.
I think that was a little bit overzealous and flashy from DRX, but they're still in a position to win this game. Yeah. The final turret here on the outside will fall. BDD.
They literally took the roundabout way of killing the inhibitor turret top lane. That's precisely what just happened.
I mean, there's still 2 super minion waves crashing into Nexus turrets. Like I said, you just ride the wave of these inhibitors being down to the next Elder fight. You win that one too, and you win the game. But because they were a little bit flashy and quite literally Deft is flashing for kills and going forward here, and this is a bit of a, I want to say silly fight here for DRX because they're fighting under a turret. They give BDD a massive Emperor's Divide here, his first of the game. Look at BDD. He actually shuffles the triple here, and that actually brings, you know, Nongshim to relevance. Like, they actually have one more fight in this game that was by no rights they should have any chance to fight for one more Elder, but I guess with one triple here from BDD, that's all it takes. We're going to watch his first-person view. And he's like, I'm going for it. Yeah, look at him, like, calling for Kale because he knows the ult's going on Deft. Really well played.
And then they just run around the Nexus. And in the end, it's a 2 for 2, right? But DRX lose a bit of their momentum, lose a bit of their power, and now we've got another flip. It's time to get your spatulas out, everyone. The next Elder Drake is now going to be available. 4,000 gold. Kingen, 45 minutes, by the way, means nothing.
Yeah, it literally means nothing. Kingen can push mid.
He sold his rapid fire cannon, which I'm happy about.
He could push mid right now and top, and then teleport into this because they have full vision control. They have several control wards set up. He can flank to the left side of the pit. He can go onto this control ward here. He can go anywhere, or he can end the game. So someone has to respond to him. BDD also has teleport, but he will not be able to make the same sort of cross-map impact. They could also just try to trade Elder for Nexus, but the macro decision DRX have to make is very complicated. They're a little bit slow to set up for this.
Yeah, Kana standing on top of his barrel. Kyoshik going to take a fair bit of damage from it, but this is now being started. Zeka in the area. You can see Kingen trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. BDD sitting on his teleport, as is Kingen. And now we're going to go
teleport
4v4, looking to try and get this flip happening. It is going to be secured by Nongshim, but can they win the ensuing fight is the question. Already Zeka has taken down effort, and Kana has been taken as well. As BDD trying to get the work done, but it doesn't work. Zeka just out of dragon range, and now Dread's trying to get his work done, but Kingen is just a raid boss, a monster, and DRX will ace them and will finally win the game.
That you and I were the ones shaking our heads at the Kale pick. You and I were saying, well, I don't know about this. It doesn't fit the comp. It doesn't fit the late game. How is it going to come together? And I tell you what, 320 gold in his pocket early. He had a free early mid. He came into the late game extremely powerful, and he's with split pushing, with prepping waves, going to basically single-handedly take this game by himself. DRX in a 47-minute game are going to close it out against Gangplank, Azir, Draven.
Oh my god, Kingen will finish off this Nexus. The Kale reigns supreme, demonstrates that late game.
오케이. 한번 해봐.
드래곤 노플.
드래곤 봐봐. 빨리 좀 와. 야, 이길만 해. 봐봐. 드리블 봐봐.
아지르 노플.
천천히. 잡아. 나이스. 야, 탑으로 갈래?
바텀.
가운데로 가.